Hey, thanks for taking the time to join us here on Polk Place and from Visit Central Florida. His name is Jack Cormier, and he's here to talk about the Silver Garland Awards. And wow, man, it's that time of year again.
Yeah, it rolls around just like, Christmas, Easter, Silver Garlands.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I mean, I used to see you in in the newspaper, and then you come to work for us, and I
Yep.
see you about every 2 weeks for Sports Central.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
and
this gig.
Yeah.
It's wild. Tourism got into Silver Garlands as sort of the Ledger had it. It started in 1976, and because of budget cuts and restraints, asked us to take it over. And it's a great way for us to reach out into the community and really show kids that Polk County cares about them, cares about the service that they give, and we want them, after they graduate college, to come back, work in the community, live in the community, stay in the community, and contribute.
Last year when we came in and talked about this, there were two things that I found interesting. One was a kid that was dealing with an app, trying to deal with how to get past COVID and COVID issues.
Yep.
And then you guys started a new thing last year. Let's talk a little bit about that ingenuity, for lack of a better word.
So a lot of these kids are just amazing. They're creative. They're outside the box thinkers. And so, especially in the computer science area, we have an awful lot of kids that will develop apps or programs or complete websites for nonprofits and other ways to help improve their impact on society. So really, in that way, by giving their time to a nonprofit, right? They're even magnifying that even greater. But that's not the only way that the kids tend to serve. And everything from working with developmentally disabled individuals. The foreign language one is one of my favorites, where you can sit there and listen to kids time after time after time give their time back to their community because they are gifted with being bilingual. So an awful lot of young people going to doctor's appointments for folks and lawyers' appointments and other things to translate.
Wasn't there a story last year with the war and
we had a young person who was on the phone?
Yeah, what was that?
Well, we had a young person who was actually, it was a Zoom call. I'm showing my age on the phone. Who was on a Zoom call with a student in Ukraine, helping them learn English when Russia attacked.
Yeah.
So it's stuff like that it's just really amazing what these young people do and go on to do. So we had one young man who won our spelling bee when we were holding the Central Florida Spelling Bee here. He goes on to win the math category last year for Silver Garlands. This year he's off at the University of Georgia and doing great things in their engineering department. So it's stories like that we want these young people to come back, contribute, and really keep Polk a great place to be.
And wasn't there a new category last year, culinary?
Yes,
something
we
like
added
that?
culinary.
Talk to me a little bit about that.
It's part of our overall culinary initiative to brand Polk County as a culinary destination. It is already. People just don't know about it. It's just getting the word out.
Yeah.
So we thought it would only make sense to add that as a category for Silver Garland. So it's our 14th category out of the field. The culinary field, it turns out a lot of these kids had already been doing this, donating their time, basically in most cases feeding the homeless. So we have 3 young people who qualified. We had more than that apply, all of which were giving their time, preparing meals, going out to parks, going out to parking lots, and feeding the homeless. So it's the heartwarming stuff like that makes you realize that we see the stories in the news, we see them all the time of kids behaving badly, That's the minority.
Yeah.
The vast majority of them are great kids, and the Silver Garland candidates are really the cream of the crop.
That story there reminds me of a Grant Pichet quote. If you are not giving back to the community, if you are not giving of yourself and doing what's needed within your community, you're missing the big picture.
Yeah, exactly. And so
far be it for me to quote Grant Pichet.
Yeah. So, I think Dennis Ross is a great example of somebody who, came through Polk County schools, was the first Silver Garland's recipient of the Citizenship Award, goes on to a law career, and then serves as a U.S. representative, comes back to Polk County. He could have stayed in Washington and been a lobbyist and with great hair, and instead comes back to Polk County and works at Southeastern, gives back to the community, endlessly gives his time to help young folks, and like I said, kept the great hair. So
you talk about that gray hair like it's a bad thing.
No, I didn't say gray. I said great.
Oh, gray hair.
Great hair.
Yeah, I'm kind of hurt.
I kind of noticed the hair thing. So
I'm going gray. You're going clear.
I'm going clear. Translucent.
Yeah, exactly. So talk to me a little bit. What I want you to do. There are teachers out there within our community that have students that are probably ideal for this in the future. Inspire those teachers to get these children involved, these young adults, in Silver Garland.
So it's a great way to their senior year to just give them a great pat on the back, a thank you for everything that they've done their 4 years in high school. Go online, go to visitcentralflorida.org, find the Silver Garland drop down, and register them. Let them know. It's a great example. Most of these kids enter themselves. But a great example of a kid who didn't was Dennis. Mm-hmm. Dennis didn't even know he had been entered until the ceremony that day. So it was a great way, and that really showed him how much the teachers in his classes cared about what he had done. It's a great way to just show these kids one last time how much we care, how much we want them to come back and contribute, and how much we appreciate what they do for us.
We got the last minute. I'm going to give you the floor for that. Inspire those who need to get involved, whether it be youth, whether it be teachers, and kind of push the parents to,
Okay. Plenty of ways to get involved. You can register your child through Silver Garlands. Of course, the biggest thing to do is to give back. Volunteer. It's all about volunteerism. So volunteer at your local church, volunteer at the local soup kitchen, volunteer and help others. Record those minutes, record those hours, contact somebody there, tell them you're interested in Silver Garlands, sign up, and we'll interview you.
Well, Jack, it's always a pleasure seeing you, and really appreciate, everything that Visit Central Florida is doing within our community, not only with bringing tourism and sports into the county, but events like this and promoting within and bringing that talent back to Polk County. Anytime we can help you guys promote anything, the chair is yours. Come back and see me, will you please?
Fantastic. Love to.
The Silver Garland is an award for service. Nominees are among the most talented and gifted high school seniors in Polk County. Of much greater importance is how the nominee has used that talent and skill in service to school and community. Service is what makes a student a Silver Garland nominee. The Silver Garland program is sponsored as a community service by Visit Central Florida, and Polk County high schools are invited to select seniors with records of outstanding service as Silver Garland candidates. Now, if you need more information, you can check them out on the web at visitcentralflorida.org. If you enjoyed that episode of Polk Place, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and even check out the next one.